Hey there, guys. This is Flamzeron, aka YouTube's Toske. As usual, I feel the need to tell you guys about the latest Tales game that's been announced. It was announced at Tales Festival a good, 2 weeks ago. I tried watching the stream, but it wouldn't let me, and apparently it was region locked. Someone else was streaming it, but I didn't actually find the link, so it was unfortunate. But the word still came out, and the new Tales game is Tales of Symphonia Unisonant Pack for the PS3. It's an HD collection of Symphonia and Dawn of the New World, I think, and it's going to be the PS2 version of Symphonia as well. Basically, what's really different, they're changing. Obviously, they're going to up-res the entire game, and whatnot. They're also including new Tales-themed costumes for all the characters. So far, we've only seen Luke for Genus and Guy for Lloyd in the original Symphonia, so that's cool. New cut-ins for the Mystic Arts. What else? New versions of Starry Heaven, the other song, and for the PS2 Symphonia, and Three-Legged Race, all done by Mizono. And also, this game has been confirmed for North American and European release in 2014. And it's coming out in October in Japan for the PS3. So, yeah, I'll definitely be picking it up. And, it's nice to see, I feel like this is the start of a new trend. I feel like we're, at least in, little increments, or, I don't know, I feel like they're going to be, releasing HD packs of Tales games. I don't know if they're gonna, because obviously there's Destiny and Destiny 2, and I don't know how else they're going to do it, but however they do it, who knows. And maybe this is Hideyobaba's way of trying to get some of the Tales games that didn't come out in North America or that didn't come out in English to come out in English. I mean, some of them they could just work with, or maybe fix some translations, and that might be another idea they might be having. But anyway, one real crucial thing that a lot of people are talking about is how are the voices going to be handled. With Tales of Exilia, it's been shown with the English voice acting that they're not only letting us know who the voice actors are, but they're also getting some pretty big names like Minai Noji as Mila, a friggin' TV actor, a straight up TV actor, not just an anime voice actor. Now, don't get me wrong, plenty of the anime voice actors also do TV, Yuri Lowenthal being one of them. But it seems like they're kind of trying to step up their voice acting production even further than what they've been doing, because I think Races was actually a pretty good dub. So, it does leave a bunch of possibilities. If you've been keeping up with Tales news on every front, then you'll know that on the French Namco Bandai website, someone asked about dual audio, and Namco replied by saying they weren't for Tales of Exilia, and they said they weren't going to do it for Exilia, but they were thinking about doing it for the next title. So, among that, the possibilities I see for English voices in this game is, A, they just leave the entire game just the way it is, which I think is probably the most probable, just because, less work. Heck, I wouldn't even be surprised if they just poured over the GameCube version for the North America and European release instead of the PS2 version. People argue that it would be a lot more work, but personally, I think it'd be a lot more work to translate, proofread, make sure everything's consistent, get voice actors to re-record anything that's voiced, and then put it all in. It's just more work than just coding everything. Yes, coding is a lot of work, but if you're adding more to it, then it's just going to be even more work. It's more like a 1 + 1 = 2 kind of thing, if you catch my drift. But anyway, that's one possibility, leaving everything the same. Another possibility would be redubbing, getting the original voice actors, like the Scott Minville cast, I guess we'll say, to record anything they didn't dub. And then for Dawn of the New World, they could either redub Dawn of the New World or just leave it the same and just be like, whatever. Or they could get the Dawn of the New World cast, the Brian Beacock cast, come in and redubs all of Symphonia, which I'd be okay with. I thought they were decent. A lot of people really, I don't know. This kind of sparked some previous heated discussions that I have had in the past about Lloyd's voice. I mean, granted, there's only really one good Lloyd voice. I don't even think I did it correctly that time. My voice is kind of straining a little bit because it is late. But anyway, really, to be perfectly honest, I like Scott Menville as an actor, and I'm sure he's a nice person. But really, the only reason why his Lloyd was so iconic was the fact that it was Robin. That's really the only... people keep on like, oh, he's so... It's not Masako Nozawa good. Like, it's not like a perfect match. It was just good acting. And it was nice to hear him. It was definitely very cool to hear Robin voice of Tails. That was cool to me. That was cool. I will admit that. But, there's more to acting than having a slight gimmick that some people try to argue isn't actually a factor, even though I find that completely not possible. B, there's more to good acting. There's more to good acting than just being a good actor. And, you can't do just being a good actor or fitting the voice. You have to do both. And perhaps that's maybe the flaw of Brian Beacock's Lloyd. He sounds closer to the Japanese version, so you could argue that it's more of a fit, but he doesn't really do anything really different with it. I still like it, and I almost feel like, and when I think of what, I hear Brian Beacock over Scott Menville. Actually, Scott Menville, to me, he sounds like he's like 14, like his Lloyd. And his voice doesn't change that much. He was good as Zephyr, or whatever his name is, from Resonance of Fate, but that still wasn't that different of a voice. It was just sort of like a darker, grittier voice, which I guess would fit for Dawn of the New World Lloyd, but the thing is, again, there's more to... I just don't see how people say Scott Menville is such an iconic Lloyd. He's a good voice actor, yeah, but A, very little range from what I've heard, and B, he's already been replaced, people, people... And not to mention, it's so weird because, people still hate on Brian Beacock, and at this point, they just hate him just for no reason. They even hate, him as Takato and Digimon and all that. And I'm just like, why? That's a completely different subject. But then, it goes Rape Mythology 1, I don't like this Lloyd, it's different. And yes, it was kind of jarring to me, too. I mean, I thought it sounded kind of weird, but I was okay with it. Ultimately, I was okay with it. There's not much I can do about it, really. B, Soul Calibur Legends, again, it was more like he got better over time. After having time to really kind of think about, okay, how do I do this character? Which, that's fine. Scott Menville, honestly, probably had more preparation time. So it's really... I just don't. I don't even. People, please, and people are saying that we're not going to get the English version just because the voices are different. Now, if you're going to get the Japanese version, that's fine. Or if you're still going to get the game, just turn the voices off, whatever. Heck, dual audio, great. That'd be cool. I'll alternate. Katsuyuki Konishi. Definitely a very interesting Lloyd. Probably my favorite Lloyd, to be honest. Besides my own. So, yeah, that's essentially that for the voices. With the new trends that Tales of Exilia is doing with using the Japanese theme song, the straight up the Japanese theme song, nothing changed, makes me wonder if they're going to do the same thing for this game. That would be cool. Or maybe just change it to an instrumental version of Starry Heavens. Although I personally would prefer to have just the original song. I don't really see the point of trying to take away from the fact that this game was made in Japan and is targeted towards people who like anime. I don't see any reason for people to try to completely just un-Japanese this game. Even if it is a fantasy game, it still is anime. I don't really, just keep... Mainly just because I like it when they keep the Japanese songs. I get to hear it in the game. Yay! But anyway, it's So the people who like apparently love Symphonia so much are not going to get the game just because the voices are different, which I think, you know, kind of a lame. Like if you, that's fine if you don't like it, and you know you've. But the problem is you vote with your wallet, so Namco might miss. The issue is not that they. It's more of like just a matter of miscommunication, I guess. I mean, between you and me, viewer, technically, if you don't buy something, you are saying you don't like it. But I mean, I'm still gonna get it, even though I already have the. That's really my only personal issue because I already have both the North American GameCube version and the Japanese PS2 version. So now I feel like I kind of wasted my money if they're just gonna bring over the PS2 version in English, which that's fine. This will be the main version that I play, but I'll probably still play through the Japanese Symphonia on my PS2, especially if they just do English voices. It'd be nice if they did dual audio, because then I feel like that would kind of help set a different kind of standard. Because honestly, at this point, the Tales series is my favorite series. I don't care if they have English voices for every single game. If they want to have Japanese voices and English text, that's fine. Better than nothing. But anywho, that's essentially just kind of wanted to report on it. My podcast, the Skit.BBS podcast, we talked about it. My buddy Dreamsword and I had a little spiel about it. So that one's already up, and I'm already working on the second one, which is a riff on a bad anime, but that's a different subject. So if you like podcasts, be sure to listen. Like, you know, and be sure to, you of course, give your thoughts here. You know, that's basically really it. Oh, and the logo changed to green. That's kind of cool. But ultimately, the way I see this is that this is going to be the start of like a new trend, either to bring the Tales games that Western audiences never got in English, or just bringing all the Tales games into like an HD sort of like thing, and like, because Hideo Baba did say he wanted to put like do HD re-releases of like all the Tales games, or like all the ones that need it. And apparently Symphonia is one of them. And people have been clamoring for like, oh, Symphonia's 10th anniversary and whatnot, so that they should do something. They don't have to do anything. I mean, they did that for Destiny, but then they released it again. It's like they were so used to doing ports, so they didn't really know what to do with it. It's like, release it again. But yeah, and then people are like, oh, why not on Wii U? It's like, people, the PS3. People like the PS3. But anyway, I don't want to rant too much, and I'm sure this video is going to get a lot of heat from people being like, fuck you, Scott Menville, you're gay. No one likes you. I hope you eat a bagel. I probably should eat a bagel. Thank you, hater. And you can try to get into a heated discussion with me, though I'll probably just ignore it because I don't care. Just, like, if you don't want to get the game just because you don't really want to get the game, that's fine. But just don't try to be like, oh, I'm just going to not get the game, period, just because the voices are going to be different. Because, you know, isn't really part of the, I mean, so many people love Symphonia, so why not just get it again, try to platinum it, because it'll probably have trophies. Like, you know, that's just my thought process. You know, I feel like, you know, it's like, oh, re-release, I should get this game. Plus, some people have never even played it. Anyway, I'm rambling. And plus, I have other videos I need to talk about, like Battle of the Gods and the Berserk movie and other things. So, this is Flamesborn, aka YouTube's Tasuke, signing out. Don't hate me. See you later. Actually, no, I don't care. Bye.